So
This conference
we
will now be recorded.
will get started. Cool. Okay, let me introduce myself. Uh, like, I'm Lakshman. I have more than 12 years experience in Java and J2W. I work for the product-based company, and I do these trainings daily, one or two batches, from last 12 years, I can say. Okay. This is a little background about myself. So today we'll take it as this is as a demo session. Just I'm going to set the expectations, what you can expect, and how this program is going to be. We are going to deliver to you. So if there is any clarifications or if you need something extra, you can feel free to unmute yourself and you can ask the questions. Yeah. So the first and thanks for joining for this demo session. Okay. You're as a Java full stack developer, what are the expectations? What are the things you are aware of that? No, most of the times we'll have that Java. There are so many things. What are the things should I learn? Where to get started? Should I pick my Java as the first programming language? So these are the some of the questions most of you people might be having. Some people might be already they have experience. They want to enhance their skills. Okay. So let me explain that how this program is going to get started, and at the end of this course, what are you going to learn, and practically what kind of applications you are going to develop. I'll show you that. Cool. If you have any questions at any point of time, you can stop me, and you can unmute yourself and ask the questions. Yeah, make this session interactive. Okay. So now here, when you are choosing your career path as a Java developer, suppose if you are decided as a Java full stack developer, like if you choose the Java, and Java also we have multiple things we are having here. We have a JSC, Java Standard Edition, JW, okay, and JME. So here, this is a JSC is it's like no core concepts. What are the core you are going to learn it? The core Java you will be learning JSC. And when you are building the enterprise grade applications, we are going to use the JWE. We are going to use it here. Once you learn JSC, Java Standard Edition, like where you can choose your career path is hey, you want to go it as a test automator, test automator, either by
ఇది
using the
పెట్టుకుంటావా
Selenium. Yeah, go ahead. Yes. Or you can go it as an Android developer. If you are working on
బయటికి
a
పెట్టాలనా
mobile application. If you don't have any questions, so please ensure that you are on mute.
ప్రెస్ స్టార్ట్
Okay, Rashmi, can you go on mute, please?
ఇది ఎట్టు పెట్టుకున్నావు ఎందుకు కుట్టదా
Okay, make it mute.
వినబడుతుందా వినబడుతుందా అంటున్నా
Okay, guys, if you don't have anything, please go on mute. I'm unable to mute. Yeah. Here, when you
నోట్ చేసి పెట్టండి 60
choose.
నోట్స్
Okay, and I'm not sure who is that person on unmute. Okay. Please go on mute if you don't have any question. If you have a question, you can unmute and you can ask. Yeah. Rashmi is with the system name, so you are on unmute. Please go on mute.
ఈ లైట్ ఓకేనా
Okay. So now here, if you take that here, Core Java, once you learn it as you can go as a test automator, or you can test automation side, or you can go as the Android developer. Here we are going to, you can choose your career. Once you learn core Java, the core Java is you can say it as a base for the Selenium and the Android. Like if you are going it as Android developer also, this is the must-have skills. And once you learn core Java, the main advantage of that core Java is like you learn almost all the concepts what are there in any other programming languages. Like you can take it as a functional style programming, then object-oriented programming. So uses of the collections and uses of the exceptions. What is the exceptions? Everything you will understand in core Java. Suppose if you are going it as a data scientist or a data analyst, or you want to learn Python, definitely this knowledge is going to help you. I'll say that core Java is the base for like you want to learn any of these things. Suppose you want to continue your career as a Java developer. I don't want to go it as a like the Android or Selenium developer. Then you could continue with the JWE you are going to continue. This is a place where you are going to learn about the most widely used framework or de facto standard for the Java applications, this modern applications is Spring Boot. We are going to learn about that. Like Spring Boot, all the concepts like how the web service works, like the from the core concepts. Like Spring, we are going to learn core, and there are different modules are there. All those modules you would be learning here, like AOP. To name few, I'm going to like the Spring Data and Spring MAC. Then you're going to learn about the Spring Security. So these are the concepts you would be learning here. And on top of that, we need to know very well about the one database. Like you should know database very well. Like if you take this modern days, most of the applications they are using the one is a relational database and another one is a non-relational databases. That is, we call it as a document databases. MongoDB, CouchDB. Those are the different databases are there. Now, at least you should get familiar with the one relational database. This is how we call it as a SQL databases. These SQL databases are might be like maybe you can take it as the Oracle or MySQL, DB2, like the PostgreSQL. Okay, PostgreSQL we are going to take it here. PostgreSQL. Like this, you have got the n number of databases you are having here. In order to interact with these databases, we should have the knowledge on the SQL. The SQL is a common for all these databases. So you must have the knowledge of the SQL. Now, this is about the server side. Whenever you are working with the server side, you should have the knowledge on the one programming language. One programming language. It could be anything, guys. I'm not saying that it's only Java. It could be anything. So since you have chosen as a Java is your first programming language, then you can go with the programming language is a Java and one database. Okay. In order to work with the databases, you should have the strong knowledge on the SQL. Okay. Then if you are a full stack developer, if you are going it as a backend developer, you must have knowledge on the enterprise technologies like the Spring framework. You must have aware of that. Spring framework, and then here ORM frameworks. Okay, ORM frameworks. These are the ORM framework we need to aware of that. Okay, these are the basic things. As a Java backend developer, we must have the skills. And with this alone, we cannot develop the applications. There will be a lot of other things you have to learn about that, like how the like whenever you are going to work on the any projects, they will have a build tools. They will be using the IDEs. Like what is IDEs they are going to use it here? What is a build tool? Suppose if we take that here, in order to develop your code, you must be using the one of the IDEs we are going to use it here. You must familiar with the IDE. IDE is an integrated development environment where you are going to get the all your compilers, debuggers, and the necessary tools to develop your application. What are the things are required? Everything it will bundle it as a single software, or we can say it as a single place where you will have everything. So, and the most widely used IDEs in Java world is Eclipse and IntelliJ. We have got the okay IntelliJ IDE we are having here. This is the two most widely used IDE we would be using in our sessions. IntelliJ IDE, we are going to use it here, and at the same time we have a build tools. Like now, when it comes to the build tools, so in order to build a project and like to generate artifacts, we need to use the build tools. The build tools most widely used is Maven, and there is something called the Gradle. We will be learning about the Maven and the Gradle. So we will start our project with the hello world project with the Maven. We are going to get started with that. Okay, cool. Then on top of that, once you get the familiar with the IDE and the build tools, and then your source code has to be maintained, or it has to be stored in it has to be stored or it has to be stored in central repository, or we want to maintain the version for our source code. Like, in order to maintain that, in order to maintain the source code, okay, here we are going to use the source code repositories, source code repository, okay, repositories. Uh, you would be using the GitHub. Yeah, we are going to use the GitHub where we are going to create a project, and at the same time you want to maintain the multiple versions. Like now, today I developed something and I want to put the, and this is not only maintaining the version, it is also a collaborative tools, like now, where people will be sitting in a multiple continents and they want to collaborate and they want to develop a piece of software. Then they should have the common place where they can put all their code into the common place, and this is the GitHub we are going to use it. Okay, so for any questions, just let me give a pass. So for any questions, you. So far, any questions? Okay.
No, I don't
The
think so.
balance is I will take it as no questions. Okay, thank you. Yeah. Now this is what we will get familiar with. This all IDs we'll get it familiar with that. And when you're using the GitHub, you have another option now. Nowadays, you are listening the lot of things about the AI. Like now, GitHub has got the GitHub Copilot. Okay, Copilot is a okay. This is a one of the tool, the GitHub Copilot, like an AI tool, like it will generate the the source code for you. Okay, it is going to generate the source code and it is going to give you the suggestions, auto suggestions. It is going to give it here. How to use that Copilot? I'll explain you in this demo itself. I'll explain that here. So these are the tools we need to get familiar when you're using the when you're doing the development. And at the same time, to deploy and to automate your jobs, we have got the we need to use the Sonar, and you will be using the Jenkins. Okay, Jenkins, you are going to use it here. These are the Sonar is a static code analyzer. It will test that whether the code which you have written, whether it followed the standards or not, and whether you have written the clean code or not. It will be tested by using the Sonar. And the Jenkins is a CI/CD jobs. Like whenever you push the code, then immediately it has to be built and it has to be deployed. Like now, what are the steps you have? Those to automate that steps, we will be using the Jenkins. We are going to use it here. How to use the Jenkins and Sonar? We will be explaining about that. These are the mainly tools in an industry when you are working in a projects. These are the tools every developer must aware of. Every developer must aware of that. Not only knowing that, you should know how to use these tools effectively. Okay. Then once you get familiar with this all these things tools, then you would be the core Java. Along with the core Java, we will be learning about the SQL, and there are other couple of things we must aware of that. Like no, whenever you are doing the configurations or whenever you are writing the modern web applications, everything is the API. Like where you should have the strong knowledge on the JSON, and then there is something called the AML. Okay, so the JSON and the AML, these topics we will be covering as a part of the core Java itself, JSON and the AML. So how we are going to use the AML, and then you would be using the CSV files, and how we are going to use the Excel files, okay, Excel, and then there's something called the PDF. How do you generate a PDFs? Okay, These are the basic things, the basic operation day to day. You would be using that, and then there's something called the email. So how are you going to send the emails? So this any project if you take it here without this, like generating the PDF report or ML configuration, CSV files, Excel, PDF, and email. These are the basic things every project needs that here. We must aware of that. How I'm going to convert my Java objects to the JSON objects or JSON to the Java object. How do I read that when I consume the API? How I'm going to how I'm going to filter my data or how I'm going to deal with that my JSON data. These are the basic things you'll be learning in the core Java. And the Spring is a vast like now our discussion will get start with the Spring Boot, and this Spring Boot is these days every project they are using the Spring Boot. Most of the like now the projects, the modern applications, they will get start with the Spring Boot. And what is this Spring Boot? What are the things it offers Spring Boot? And how to create a Spring Boot projects from the start.spring.io. There is a website, and from there how we are going to create a Spring project, and we would develop the uh, multiple applications you would be developing when you are learning the Spring. And another one is how this program is going to get start with that. Like we will start from the very basics. Like we will start from the what is Java. Okay, then how we are going to install the Java and the installation of the each and every tool, how to use that we'll be learning. And along with that, once we are done with this, then there is a UI component we must aware of that here. Whenever you are taking the UI things, so where you are going to learn about the HTML, then you are going to learn about the CSS and the KS, and you will be learning about the Ajax. What is Ajax? Okay, here we can include the JSON, how we are going to use the JSON, and then you will be learning about the Angular. These are the main concepts of UI we are going to cover. As a full stack developer, you must aware of that, like how this UI works and like how to build the UI pages. You must have the knowledge on that. So that's where you are going to learn about the HTML, CSS, JS. JS is nothing but JavaScript, Ajax, JSON, and Angular. This is, Angular is an entirely different thing. We can say it here. These are the basic things every UI developer must have the knowledge. And the Angular is you can take it as it's a framework. By using all these things, they have developed the Google has developed the framework that's Angular. We will be using the Angular. We are going to use it in our development. Okay, we learn about the Angular and we are going to uh, learn. We are going to learn that. Yeah, Angular. We are going to learn. And this all these things I learned. Like now, I learned Java. I learned the Spring Boot. I learned the SQL. How I'm going to deploy these applications? Like now, do I need to install everything? Do I need to like now where I can deploy my applications and how I'm going to see like now share with my friends or like now the like for your hobby project if you're developing something, where do I deploy these projects? So like one is you can go with the AWS, Amazon AWS, you can use it. Another one is for our applications is render.com. This is a good enough for us. Like now, what are the applications we are going to develop? Either you can deploy in AWS or you can deploy into the render.com. This is a render.com is a place where it's like no, it may not be uh, as super as AWS as like the AWS got the lot of features, but render.com has got the limited features. But the applications whatever we develop, we can deploy into the render.com. You can deploy. Now, suppose if I'm taking here, now I'm learning the SQL. I want to learn SQL, but I need a database installation, and where I need a database, so what you can call it here, database client. Like in order to avoid this installation, what you can go here, you can log into the render.com, where you can create a one instance. Okay, DB instance you can create it here, and they will give the free tier for 3 months. Okay, 3 months they are going to give the free tier. Like no, they will create a one database for you, and they will give all the credentials to in order to connect with this database. What are the credentials are required? Everything they are going to provide for you. And by using the credentials, you are going to use the one of the DB clients. You are going to use it here. This DB client can be. either dviewer or the equivalent of that you would be using, and you would be connecting with these databases without installing on your local machine. Like this is deployed on the cloud. This is this is deployed on the cloud. We are going to take it as a this is a cloud service. So we would be taking here. Let me write it here. This is a cloud DB. You're going to take it here. Let's put it this way. Okay. Here, this is a cloud service we would be taking here. That's a render.com. You are going to use it here. Render.com you will be using, and you will generate the you are going to make a one instance, and from here in your local you are going to connect. Suppose if I build a my Spring Boot application, how I am going to deploy that? Okay, here we can deploy that here. Even your Spring Boot application also, Spring Boot application, what are the application you develop? What are the application you develop? This application you will package like a Docker, and you take this Docker file, and you would be creating the one more application you are going to create it here, or one more yeah, you are taking the one more application, and where you would be telling that, hey, you go and pick the my docker file from the my like no github. You are going to tell that here this is going to pick the source code from the wherever you specified, and finally it is going to run this docker container. It is going to run it in a render.com, and it will give the one url. By using that url you can access that here. By using that URL, you can access the publicly, you can access that here. It is going to give you the one dynamic, what you can say, domain name it is going to create for your application. And by using that uh, dynamic domain name, or like what are the domain name it has given, you can access the your application. At the same time, you can communicate from my render.com, my Docker file, Docker application, Docker from the Docker. I can connect with the database which is running in render. Like no, whereas I develop the application, I'm going to create it as a Docker, and I'm going to deploy into the render. And at the same time, my database instance I'm spanning in render.com, and I can connect from the my local machine, or I can connect from the what is the application it is hosted or deployed. You can communicate with that. Okay, you can connect with that. Now here at the end of this course, like now, this all these things we learned, and I discussed all these things. What kind of application you are going to develop? That really am I going to develop this some application? Yeah, definitely you are going to develop the application. This is one of the student who has developed this application. His name is yeah, he's not their name. This is deployed on the render.com. Okay, he has deployed the render.com, and this is a UI application, and this UI application user is logged in as a user. Suppose if I'm logging out, now here it is going to ask that here, hey, default username and password is a user and user, where I am going to take the user at rate of 123. I'm going to logging in. Once I logging in here, it should take me to the home page. Yeah. Okay, let me check this here. I'm going to click on login. So the servers is free servers. Sometimes what happen, it will go to the sleep mode. Okay, it will go to the sleep mode. It will take the a few seconds to come up. Still not act. Okay, user at the rate of 123. He has given the password. Yes, I'm clicking on login in. Hmm, still it is not responded. So this is a making a call. This is what it is making a call. Now I'm going to copy this curl. Copy as a curl. Copy as a curl. Okay, this is we are going to open this. What is this postman? I'm going to take the postman. Why this is taking a long time? Yes, I want to check that here. Okay, just I'm going to import this is our text. I would be importing this here. Import. I'm going to call this here. See here, the server is taking the literally long time. Uh, some reason it is taking the really long time. It is not responding. Okay, still sending. This is bad. We made it so many requests. Okay, now it's logged in. Okay, it took long time for the return. But anyhow, it is going to return the JWT. Now here he has developed this application like this. He created a one UI application. This is a UI application, and this UI application, when you take that here UI, and then there is a server side application, and this server side application which will be talking to the database. This is a database which is talking to this database. Okay, you can take it as a database. The database which is used in this application is PostgreSQL. It is used the PostgreSQL, and he has the entire IPL track data, IPL player data. Okay, this is the player data which is stored in a database, and now he would be talking to this database. He is going to talk to that database by using the Spring application. He is going to talk to that here. And what are the data it is getting? He is this is a, we can say it as a server side application, server side. And what are the application he has developed that here? He has exposed all these things by using the APIs. By using the APIs, and this UI application is requesting, hey, can you give me the details of this, or can you give me the details of the all the players? Can you give me the which team has spent more money? He is making a call to this API. The APIs internally, it will talk to the underlying layer and it will be connecting into the database. Finally, it is going to return the response, and that response will be converted into the JSON. Okay, this JSON data is going to consume, and you would be displaying the output in the UI is going to display that here. And this application is running in render.com, and these two instances also running in the render.com. So the UI application is deployed into the render, and here the server side application also deployed in the render. And he created one instance on the render.com. He has created the instance. Now here, if you look at the output, this is what, if I go to the home page, if you take it here, among all the teams, Mumbai Indians is the highest money they have spent. If you look at that response, how you are getting the response is, if you go and inspect the element, now if I refresh this here, the way you are getting the response is, suppose if I'm getting the team statistics, if you go to the response, this is what response you are getting here. This is the response you are getting here. Copy values. I'm going to open the notepad. Something I'm going to open here. Notepad I'm going to open here. Okay, let's look at here. This is the response it is getting here. One ID has label and amount. This data is converted into the Google chat he has converted. This is what Google chat is converted, and he is displaying that into the as a Google chat format. It's going to display and role and amount. how much amount they have spent, role, each role, like no, entire tournament, the majority of the 31.3% as they have spent on the, okay, it is not rendered properly. The, like no, if we take it here, what is this role? We are not getting properly. It is not visible. It's not clearly visible. Yeah, you should like no, here 31.5. What is that? 27 point on bowler or batsman or wicket keeper. The labels are not displaying properly. There is a bug in that code. Okay, then here if I'm selecting the Gujarat Titans and who are the players in that a particular team, you could get that here. Particular team, who are the players and entire players and their amount, you are going to get it here. And it's the same thing if you take the team statistics. If I'm taking the team statistics, you can select the team, what team you want to get it here. Suppose if I want to get a Gujarat Titans, and now here, how much they have spent money on the bowlers, they have spent the more money. Compared to batsmen, they have spent the more money on the bowlers. And these are the people who are come from the different countries in that team. And if you select the a particular country, and here also there is a bug in this code. Okay, now I'm going to select the DC, and here I'm going to select it here. Like no batsman, I'm going to select it here. Who are the batsmen in the team? If I'm selecting the bowler, who are the bowlers in this uh, team? And if I'm selecting the South Africa, is there any player? Nobody. Is the England? If I'm taking here, there is a one player who is from the DC, is the one. And if I want to select the Indians, so here these are the people who are the Indians. You are going to get the all the Indians you are going to. Based on the country, you would be picking the people. Based on the role, you are going to pick the people. And at the same time, and where they have spent more money, like you know, these guys also spend the more money on the bowlers. Okay, KKR, if I'm taking, you can see here KKR also bowlers, they have spent more money. And if I look at the CSK, if I'm looking at here CSK, they have spent the money on the all rounders. Like, no? So you can get the basic statistics about the application. He has done a basic statistics on the IPL data. Like if you look at the IPL raw data, the way it looks is raw data. Let me explain this here. It's a simple CSV data. It's a simple CSV data where you can take it as a team and player. Okay, I think open with the notepad. I'm going to open. This is the data. This is the one simple data is having here. From this data, this is what it is a converted here. Like no, it is like no visual representation of your the data. Like no, we persisted the data into the this database is persisted. Like no, and as a table is persisted, and he has written a APIs to expose the APIs. Sorry, expose the like no, what are the statistics he want. He calculated and he has done in a service layer, and finally uh, like what are the model object you want to give to the UI, he is provided as a one API they provided. By using that API, the UI developers is going to consume that API, and they will be showing that the way they want, like the way the UI UX developers has designed that design, like, is going to display in the same format the data is going to be displayed. So in order to do this application, you must have knowledge on the uh, UI, must have knowledge on the database and the server-side language, and at the same time, how to create a Docker and how we are going to deploy that application into the Docker. And at the same time, you should have the knowledge on the like you know, the how you are going to create a Postgres instance on the render.com. Once you have knowledge on that, you are going to generate an instance. From that instance, uh, you will be using inside your application. You are going to use. So to develop and to deploy these all the applications, we use the render.com. And if you want somebody wants to explore about the Amazon, how EC2 instances works and how to create that, how we are going to push your Docker file into the EC2 instances, yeah, we can learn that. So why I have taken the render.com is it's a free, like it won't ask the any credit card or debit card. There is no like if you forget to stop some instances, you will not be charged. Like as a student or as a learner, to practice that, like very basic things you are doing here is like you want to deploy the application where you want to see the output, like you want to share with somebody, then you could go with the render.com. Maybe there is a slightly delay and servers may go sleep in if you don't use it for the 30 minutes. That is okay when you're developing the hobby projects. When you're developing the serious project where you can take the paid services where there will not be any latency or where there will not be any delay. So where you could use the paid service. So this is what here we are going to cover and you would be learning and finally you would be developing the application and deploying end-to-end application and how to write the test cases. Those things also will be covered in core Java itself. Like writing of the unit test cases, how we are going to do that, you would be learning. So these are the uh, expectations and you can expect from this course. And at the same time, some of the places where your data may be coming in various different formats you would be getting, and we need to clean the data or we need to do the kind of ETL job, we need to do that here. And doing in Java, it may be little challenging. Instead of that, we would use the Python. Like exactly where you are going to use the as a Java developer, where you are leveraging the Python. I will explain that here, and we'll get a basic knowledge. We'll discuss the core Python we are going to discuss in this course. So these are the things you can expect from this course. Any questions so far? Any questions?
Hello.
No? Okay. Sorry?
Now, no, no.
Okay.
Now, no. No, no.
Now here, let's we'll get
Okay.
to our first example. How do you create? Somebody
ఆల్మోస్ట్ అన్ని ఒకరి పేరు మీద ఉన్నాయి అవన్నీ ఒకరి మీద అంటేనా ఓనర్ అట్లా చేపిస్తాం ల్యాండ్ ఓనర్ అట్లా చేసుకుంటామండి
Margot, can you go on? I don't know who's that person. Yeah.
మరి 2020 తర్వాత 2020 కనబడుతుంది
Please
రాకుండా
ensure that you might be seeing that how disturbance for
అంటే
you.
అక్కడనే మనకు 5,400 5,500 పర్ యార్డ్ వచ్చేటట్టు కూర్చొని మాకు మా ఫ్రెండ్ వాళ్ళ బాగా చెప్పాడు ఆల్మోస్ట్ 1 month నుంచి చెప్తే అన్నాడు అదే గేమ్ చేసుకుని ఎంత రేపు కొంచెం మెయిన్ రోడ్కి ఒక 0.1 కిలోమీటర్ ఉంటుంది
Okay. Sorry, guys. I don't know. I don't have option
అంటే అట్లా
to
నాకు తెలిసింది
move.
తెలిసిందే
Please, I'm requesting you, like, if your microphone is on, please go on mute. If you don't have any question. Now here to get started with our program, and where do you get started with that? First thing is we are going to you will get familiar with the dev environment setup. First thing is we are going to dev setup. We are going to do that here. Okay. Dev setup, we are going to do it here. The dev setup is, here, what are the tools we are going to use? As a Java developer, we need to install the Git. We are going to install the Git. We are going to install. Then we are installing the Java. That's nothing but the JDK we are going to install. Then we will be installing the Maven, and then we are going to install the that is a IntelliJ IDE we are going to install. Uh, Git, JDK, Maven, IntelliJ, and VS Code. Okay, VS Code, this is our Visual Studio Code. These are the basic things we need to do the dev setup. And along with one create account, create account, create account on the GitHub. Okay, you create the one on GitHub. It is also free. You need not to as a developer, individual developer, we need not to pay. If you are using it as a then if you require some paid services, you will be paying for that. So here you can create a developer, you can create. And another one is you create an account on the create account on the vendor.com. So these are the basic setup. We will be doing the first class. So first we have to get familiar with the dev setup. And once you are done with the dev setup, then you would be starting with the core Java. And when you're doing the core Java, so core Java, we will start with the hello world application. We'll be we'll be creating the hello world application. That means we are starting from the very basics. Like if you are the first time you are learning the programming, the day you are completed with the session, what are the examples I'm going to explain if you practice is the same. You don't feel Java is difficult. If you don't practice that, again, if you postpone or if you miss the classes or if you postpone the what are the assignments, then you may lose the interest and you may feel the, it's difficult to learn Java. The day one, what are the examples I'm going to execute in the classroom? Please practice the same examples, and at the same time, you can spend some more time on the reading also. Like what are the online resources are available, you can spend some more time on it. Read that. Okay. Once you do this basic setup, we would create a first our hello world application we are going to create, and then you would be learning the your core Java. That from there your core Java learning will start. And in core Java, what are the things we'll cover is first 1 week I'll be discussing about the fundamentals of the program. These fundamentals are it's a common for any programming language. I can say that here. Syntactically, it may be different, but the logics will be the common. Logics will be common. How to write a loops and how to write the if conditions and how we are going to write a switch statement and the difference between for loop and while loop and how to write the nested for loops. These are the basic for any programming language. So this first 1 week session, it's a programming fundamentals. You are going to learn about the programming fundamentals. You are going to learn about. The next week we will be learning about the uh, arrays and the string and the string buffer and object oriented concept, collections, threads, then exceptions, then reflections, how you are going to use the reflection API. So these are the concepts you would be learning, and and once we done that here, then once you're done with the core Java, then we are going to start with the SQL. Once you got familiar with the SQL, this is a place where we are going to start the UI. Once you get familiar with the UI, then you would be starting with the Spring Boot we are going to learn. And during this learning, I would be introducing you all these tools we are going to use. And I said that in this demo, I will show the Copilot, what is this Copilot and how we are going to use the Copilot. We'll take it here. Suppose I have already installed my IntelliJ IDE. IntelliJ IDE I have installed. Uh, we will create a one new Maven project we'll create, and we'll write a simple hello world application and what is this Copilot and how these AI tools are helping for the developers. We'll see that. Yeah. Here I'm going to create one new project. Let me create it as a new project. I'm going to create it as a brand new project. I'm going to create it here. Okay. Let it happen. It is doing some update. Good. Yeah. How these sessions will be delivered. This is one. The day one. What are the examples we executed? Everything will be shared with you as a GitHub link, and where you can take this source code and you can practice. And then every day, end of the session, you will be giving the this is a source code will be pushed to the GitHub, and from the GitHub you are going to pull the code, and what are the doubts you are having you can clarify, and at the same time what are the source code you are developing if you are sharing with me, I would be reviewing your code as well. Suppose if you are taking here day one we have done the 5 example, day two we have done the some, day three what are the examples we have done it in the classroom, the swapping of the two numbers we are going to do this here before swap and like what are these things. Yeah, cool. Now similarly we are going to create it as a new project. I'm going to create it here. This is a new project. It's a Maven project. I'm going to give it as a AFS, and I will be saying it as a this is a May 2023. I'm going to say that here. Java full stack May 2023. I'm going to say that here, and I'm creating a new project. I'm going to create it here. Once I created a project, whether do you want to open this window or new window? I'm going to say it as a new window. Let me close this previous one. Okay, this is the Maven project which is created. Okay, the Maven project, it is created here. Okay, the Maven project, it is created here. This is a Maven project. And now here I want to write a simple hello world message. Now I want to print a new class. I would be writing the hello world. Hello world, I'm going to say that here. Okay, now here, let's put it as a package. It is always a good practice to put the package. Package from dot careerit dot cj dot demo. Okay, I will be saying that's a demo. This is a package I want to create it here. Let me create it as a move to package. This is a package, doesn't have the package. Let me create it as a new package. Com dot careerit dot cj dot demo. Let's put it as this is a place, and I'm going to move this class to the move that class to the this is a com dot. Here we are going to take it as a career IT hello world demo. We would be moving that here. Okay, okay, career IT, we are going to move it here, and I want to write my first program main method. I'm going to write here system.out.println welcome to hello world. Just we are writing the nothing else. We are not writing anything great. Just we are printing the simple message hello world. I'm going to run this here, which is going to print me the okay. Could not find the class hello world class. It is not found. It is saying that here. What is wrong here? Let me create it as a, this is a project I created here. New class hello world. Okay, I'm going to say it as hello world. There's an add, and here we are going to say it as a main. And here we are printing the hello world. We are printing here. Now I'm trying to run this here. This is saying that what class not found except. Okay, cool. No problem. Here we are going to say it as a Java 17. I'm changing the Java version 17. I'm going to change it here. This is the first thing. Okay, now I'll go to the Maven and just let me refresh. Okay, now I'm going to run this here. Still it did not work. No. Here, open the module settings. I'm going to set this here. The project which is taking the JDK 17 or JDK 17, I'm going to take it here. Module. Okay, SDK, we are going to take it as a JDK 19 or JDK 17. I'm going to take it here. Apply. Click OK. Let it run. There is something wrong. First example. So if I'm making it as a 20, I'm going to make it here. Let's refresh this here. Cool. Open module settings. I'm going to open the module settings. Project settings, I'm going to take it as a JDK. Language level. Okay, here we are going to take it as a 20. Okay, module setting, I'm going to take it here. This is what libraries. SDK, if I'm selecting here 20, I'm going to take it here. This apply and click OK. I'll be taking it as a run Java Hello World example. Okay, let me restart this. There are some updates, might be this is causing the. Yeah, because the latest version is a Java is a JDK 20. That's the latest version. And another thing is every 6 months they would be releasing the new version they would be releasing. We need not to worry about the hey, whenever you release a new version, do I need to learn that? No. Like, no, what are the features they are introducing that if it's really important for you, you will be learning the new features you are going to learn that. Okay, you need not to go and like learn. Every version may not be drastic changes. Some of the changes as a developer you need not worry about that. Maybe internal changes. Some of the changes, so especially Java 8, they have done the very big changes. They have done that. Whenever the language, see that it is like this. Like no data volumes of the data has been increasing, and the way your Java, any programming language has to handle that the changes. Like, what are the changes are happening? If they don't adapt, then they will be kicked out of the market. To adapt that, the language also will be evolving and keep on. They will be adding the new features into their programming language. That's one reason Java was you can say that the top language from last 2 decades. You can say that. Okay, let it go. Where is my ID? It has been restarted. After restarted, it did not come back. Okay, it is coming up. Something there was some update it asked. I should have ignored that, but I have done that like update. Okay, good. Let it happen. That's okay. This is a Maven project. It is not recognized this project. Okay. Oh, Java 21 is released. Yeah, I mean Java 20. The package we are going to take it here. Review. Project. I think there is some problem with this project creation. Let me create it as a new project. Let me take it here. This is a core Java Python demo. I'll be taking here Maven, and here we have a different version. What is the version we want? I will go with the JDK 20. There is no problem. This is a Maven project I'm going to create. Create a GitHub repository. Advanced, you are going to set here. Uh, Career ID, the core Java demo. I'm going to say that here, and I want to open this window itself. I'm going to open this window itself. This is created this is what is created here. Now I'm going to create a new package. I'm going to create a new package. First thing is I'm going to create it as let it happen. Let it come here. This ID Microsoft Defender real time. There might be something they are saying that. Okay, now here we are going to create a new package. I'm going to create it here. This package name is carrier IP dot cj dot. I'm going to set as my package name is a demo. And where you would be creating the one new class, I'm going to create it here. This is a hello world. I'm going to create it here. Okay. Hello world. I'm going to create a class. And once I created this class, then we are going to add a main method. So this is a main method I'm adding here. System.out.println hello world. Now I'm going to run this application. Once I run this application, you would be seeing that output is going to show it on the console. Hello world. So far, it's nothing great here. Suppose if I'm writing the another example, okay, I don't know how to like here we want to find the biggest of three numbers. Biggest of three numbers, I want to write this program. Now earlier, like if you are writing the code, this is the main method I'm going to write it here. Okay, here we are going to say it as a accept three numbers from the user and find the biggest. Accept three numbers from the user and print the biggest of three numbers. Now you just see here, it is taking the A and it has taken the B and it has taken the C and it is going to print the big equal to A. If A is greater than big is greater than, if B is greater than A is then finally it's printed the System.out.println. Now the bot has generated the code for you. The co-pilot is the one which is telling that, hey, you want to find the base of the number. Suppose if you want to get the number from the user, I know there is something called the scanner, SC equal to. You will be saying that as a new scanner, and here it is asking the enter the number one. Then I am not typing. It's a bot is suggesting me that here enter the number two, enter the number three, and this is what. And you want to find the biggest. Now find the biggest. Okay, biggest of three numbers. Biggest of three numbers. We are going to we just commented that it is going to generate a code for you. This is what, and finally it is going to system.out.println the biggest of three numbers. You see here the way it is code has been generated here. Hey, I'm saying that accept the three numbers from the user. Like you have done that here. I said that here you find the biggest of three numbers, and it has found that, and finally it is going to print it here. If I run this application, which is going to uh, take that here. Okay, here I'm saying it as a 2, 3, and 4, and the 2, 3, 4 biggest of 2, 3, 4 is, and it's printed it as a 4. Suppose if I want to find a whether given number is a prime number or not, like now here we are going to write it as a one public static boolean. I'm writing in one method is prime, and I'm going to give a number into number. You just see here the bot is going to suggest you, okay, the co-pilot is going to suggest you that, hey, if you want to find a prime number, okay, here we are going to write it as a the prime number logic. You are going to write it here. So find number is prime or not. Just I'm going to say that here return false. It is suggesting, and here it is unable to suggest you that anything. So I'm going to take this here. I'm going to take it as a one simple thing. We are going to write it here. One logic I'm going to write it here. What are the logic I know? Just you are going to take this here. If I'm going to say that as a number is less than 2, it is a false. And here we are going, it is going to say that here from the number, it is going to take it as a modulus of 2. We are going to get this, it is a false. Otherwise, you are going to return the true. That's it. The co-pilot is, what it does is it is going to give you a solution. It's going to give it here. Suppose if I'm not happy with the solution, here I'm going to give the cursor. I'm going to refresh this here. Okay, I'm going to give the cursor here. It's giving me the lot of other suggestions it is giving here. Okay, method square root of you can do this here, and I'm accepting this solution. This is a solution which is accepted here. As a developer, you just see here how much your efforts has been reduced. Like now to write these basic things, that's it. You're going to write it here, and they are suggesting multiple suggestions. They are suggesting what do you want. You just become. Rules is generating a lot of code, and it is giving the superly optimized code they are going to give you for that. Like here, if you want to find it, int get index. Okay, get index int one array. We are going to take it here. ARR. I'm going to take the int element. Okay, in this the element, what index that element is present, you want to find that here. You are done. You see here how simple it is. You are going to run from 0 to till the length, and then you are going to say that here ARR of I equal to element, then you return the value, otherwise you return the -1. You are done. Like if that element is present in this array, it is going to return that index, otherwise it's returning -1. That's it. You did not write any single line, just you are going to take this here, and if you are not happy with this solution, what are the other possible solutions? Just if you ask this here, it is going to show that here. It is going to show you the um, it is going to show you the other solutions. It is going to show that here. Okay, you could make use of these things. Like now here we are going to do this here, you are doing here. There are some of the solutions it is giving you, but I'm happy with this solution. You just click tab, generate. See, the world is going at this page. Like now you cannot say that no, I will learn like no Java for 6 months and then I'll get it into the job. Like Those days are gone, guys. Like you have to quickly adapt the things. You should learn quickly. Then what are the things it is coming in a market? You should quickly learn that, and then you have to move on to the jobs. Like no, so there are a lot of things has been evolving in the AI side, and things has been greatly simplifying, and like no, it is increasing your developer productivity, and they are generating a lot of code for you. uh, like just you are going to make use of that. But one thing is like no, developer jobs are may decrease, but I don't know. I'm not the right person to comment on that. But at least it will reduce the efforts. Like no, what are the some of the things like no basic things, very boring stuff. We don't want to do every time. So those code snippets are generated by the AI tools. It will be very nice, and you can work on the satisfying work where you can think and you can solve your business problem. So that is the one great thing about the this Copilot. So this is from the Microsoft, and GitHub has got this Copilot. And in our organization, we are using the Copilot where some of the basic things. So suppose if I want to do the email configurations, I want to do that here. Let's take a simple example I'm giving here. Java email configuration. Java email configuration, I'm going to ask that here. Okay, Java API, we are going to say that here with the attachment. We are asking you one question, like a simple thing. We are going to uh, what is a functional interface? Okay, some doubt I got it here. I want to ask this here. What is a functional interface? Now here we are going to say that here answer. I want to get here functional interface is interface with only one abstract method. Okay, interface with the only one abstract method is called functional interface. You could get the some solution, some answers as well. So these are the things which will be done by the Copilot. It is going to do that here. Okay, where when you are sending the email or you are writing a factory methods, like certain things you need not to write that. Like now here if I'm checking here one more example to take an example public. I want to take it as a static. I would be taking it as a int reverse reverse of the given number. Reverse of int number. I want to do the reverse of a given number. This is a commonly used method. Like now, you would be writing this code. Like hey, you do this here. This is what it is going to be generated here. Or if you want to optimize this code, you could do this here. Like now, as a developer, still if you want to provide a optimized solution, you could do this here. Like there is no point in assigning this variable. And here we are going to take it here. Finally, you will be ready. You see here, these are the some of the advantages. Like when you are creating the test cases, C data creation, and everything will be done by the Copilot. These are the one of the AI tool. Like no, Chat GPT is for everything, whereas Copilot is for the developers, where their code snippets are going to be generated at the same time. At the same time, what are the best possible solutions it is going to give you that, and the suggestions it is going to give that here. You can pick the what is the right solution for your problem. You can pick that. And another thing is don't like no just to pass a comment that no hey AI is coming like no let me see when time comes. No, the things has been evolving, guys. Like no, just to spend some time on the understanding the what's happening AI tools and chat gpt or maybe it's a Google chat sorry Copilot and Amazon also. They have released the similar kind of thing to generate the code. The last night I was reading some of the articles. I saw that. I don't remember the name. So we can start using those things. Yeah, that's all for demo I plan, guys. Like it is uh, like so. If you have any questions, I will take your questions. Otherwise, I'm done with this demo. Any
Hello.
questions? Yeah, go ahead, please.
Uh, uh, I started my career previously as a Java developer.
Mm-hmm.
I worked for a high court so for 4 years. I have worked for Struts, the programming.
Hmm.
So I got a gap after marriage, delivery. So again, I want to restart my career.
Okay.
So what is the better option? Is this the right option to
Yeah.
start
Again,
restart my career? Because
you
previously
can.
I worked for Struts environment. I don't have any idea about Spring's environment. Struts framework.
Yeah. When you work on the struts, learning the Spring may not be that difficult. It would be easy for you. Yeah. Struts is a purely MEC framework, whereas Spring is for everything. It's like no, you can use the Spring for any tools which are available. Like you can integrate easily. So definitely you can learn quickly. Yeah. So and another thing is like no, if you, even you just you got a gap, like no, you are not new to
I
the
got a
program.
gap. I got a gap
So
for four
definitely,
years.
yeah, that's not a big time. Okay, so definitely you can pick up the things and you can get started with that. Like no? So from the basics we are starting. Even if you forget the some basic fundamental concepts, and you are revising those concepts.
So how is the future if I restart my career in this full stack developer as a full stack developer?
That's like no, that's purely depends on the like no, what are the skill set you are acquiring, how fastly you are acquiring, and how you are projecting your skill set. Then that whole thing is depends on you. And another thing is another 10 years down the line, Java is not going to be like no, eradicated or it is not going to be put down. No, so it is going to be at least another 10 years. It is going to be a top language. Yeah, especially when you are developing the enterprise grade applications.
Okay.
Yeah. Any other questions? Thank you, guys. If there is no questions, I hope you learned something from me today, and we'll see that like when the batch is going to start, they will inform. We'll